All right, everybody. Well, I want to make a very specific training. I apologize in advance. I'm in my car. I'm not driving. Okay, but you're going to see a steering wheel. But it's the only place that I can lay my phone down and have a little bit of good lighting here in Chicago, Illinois. And I'm actually in a suburb of Schaumburg today and running some errands and working. But I wanted to just make a training specific to what I talked about today on the WhatsApp group for 8 minutes. And that's how to build more brand partners, how to get more brand partners involved into your business. And I'm going to lay it out, what to say. I'm going to give you the how-tos as quickly as I possibly can, but I'm also going to talk about why. Because we have to have a purpose and a passion and a mission on why we do certain things. Because as human beings, we only move if we know we have to move. We only move if there's internal motivation within based on our why and based on why we're even in this business model, why we're even entrepreneurs. So with LEMD, obviously, I think, again, this is my personal opinion and perspective, that it's never been easier to recruit brand partners in my entire career. And let me explain why that is. Number one, all of our peptides is what people want. Glutathione, NAD+, GLP-1. People are getting really quick results, okay? I mean, literally quick. I mean, if you're injecting NAD+, you're probably going to feel a lot more energy that same day or that same week. I mean, it's pretty quick how people can, really respond and really like the results. Even the night cream, using it 3 days or 3 weeks, you're going to really start to see fine lines and wrinkles and crow's feet kind of diminishing. I mean, every single peptide we have or product, you're going to start to see results. So therefore, it's a lot easier to sell this. It's a lot easier to get brand partners as opposed to a supplement company or a phone service company or something like that, because people can see the physical results. So again, there's a beautiful before and after picture. It's real results and people are seeing that. So obviously we do want to lead with the customer side a lot, but there's also going to be people that are more entrepreneur minded. And I talk about this in my book, You Versus You. There's really three types of people out there that you're going to come in contact with. You got the poverty mindset. And a lot of you deal with these people. I try to avoid them like the plague. And these are the I don't have the money, I'm broke, poverty mindset. Amazon's laying off 14,000 jobs. Maybe they were one of them. Maybe they're just constantly always looking for work. They've never done anything entrepreneurially in their life. They don't understand work ethic. They just want to work for someone else and barely get by. And while they're on the job site, they're on TikTok and Instagram wasting time. Okay, this is poverty mindset. You cannot fix these people. Okay, so if someone is starting to say, I can't afford this, or I can't do this, you just have to really, you can't turn that, and you can't turn a duck into an eagle. It's just impossible. I mean, think about that. Or if I'm an eagle and I start hanging out with the ducks, eventually I'm going to start to quack and not know my own power, that I can soar in the air way higher than a duck, and I can go really, really high, and the ducks can't. Like, I can really soar above the fray. So you don't want to also hang out with these people too long, because the moment you hang out, or maybe you need to stop hanging out with these ducks, quack, quack, quack people, because you're going to get pulled down like an eagle would get pulled down by the duck, and they just like, you're going to quit. You're not going to have success. So either you're not going to work with the poverty mindset, or you're going to start to become, because you are the average of the 5 people that you hang out with most. The second is the entitled people. Entitled, give me free, give me more, give me more. You don't know my father is, you don't know my mom is. Give me, give me, give me. I'm entitled. I want a deal. I want a free lunch, right? There's no such thing in life as a free lunch. Honestly, there's not. I guess unless your mother's buying, but she probably also wants your time, so she'll only buy if you spend time with her. So there's no such thing as a free lunch. So entitled people, we're not really looking for those either, because they're entitled, they're not coachable, they're not willing to put in the work. They just think, hey, I should already be successful because of who I am. The third person, and this is what you're looking for in recruiting, and again, this is not really, information that you want to apply getting customers, so to speak, in a way. I mean, obviously, broke-minded people are not going to buy the peptides. But this is specific to brand partnership. When you're building a team, when you're actually recruiting someone as a brand partner, if they have those two mindsets, they're never going to make it. But if they have the third mindset, and I wrote about this in You Versus Your Finances in my book, You Versus You, the 12 Ways to Kick Your Own Ass and Win, is the spirit. Notice what I'm saying. I'm not saying they have to have an entrepreneurial mindset already. They have to be successful as an entrepreneur, but it's the spirit of the entrepreneurial mindset, right? It's the spirit of it. So they could be a 9 to 5 person. They could be working for Amazon. Maybe they're one that got laid off, but they're still positive. They're still a dreamer. They have positive expectation. They're reading books. They're listening to podcasts. They want to build something on the side. They realize that residual income is the name of the game. And even for you, you have to check yourself at the door and be like, okay, what am I? Because I can't attract what I'm not. So I need to attract people that are the spirit of entrepreneurs. But if I don't have that spirit, if I'm not listening to podcasts, if I'm not reading 10 pages of a book every single day, if I'm not journaling and writing my goals and visualization and meditation and understanding that I can do this with the power of my leadership team, and again, this is anything in life. This is not just with LEMD. I'm telling you, you're going to be greatly successful. So again, check yourself at the door first before you bring on people. Now that should only be a few minutes there, okay? And let's make those adjustments if you need to change. But the other thing is you might also say to yourself, because I've gotten these messages before, well, Todd, I've never really been successful. I've been in this industry, direct sales, for many years. I've done pretty well, but I've never recruited a top guy or a top girl, or I don't have a lot of influence, so to speak. I don't have a lot of followers. Okay. We have to lose effective immediately your past non-successful story. Because here's what sells and here's what doesn't sell. What sells is success. What doesn't sell is non-success. So for instance, if you don't have a success story, we can still create a story right now, effective immediately today. The fact that you're joining LEMD, the fact that you're taking the peptides, the fact that the future looks bright for you, and that you're positioning yourself in front of the biggest trend to ever hit the health and wellness space in the history of our lifetimes. You're positioning yourself with great leadership like myself and other leaders. You're positioning yourself with people that have made multiple 7 figures in this industry. You're positioning yourself with mentors and coaches and talent, and being a part of the fastest and best growing organization in the United States of America with this company. So you're creating that success story now. It's not about, well, I haven't done this in the past, or I failed here, or I failed there. I kind of relate it to relationships. So let's say like you were married and you got divorced and it was very ugly. And let's say it wasn't even a lot of times your fault. You were cheated on. I've been there, done that, right? As far as like that has happened to me. So I could go into, and you could go into the dating world or the next level of your life, right? If you want to level up, and just like look at every woman or every man as they're a cheater, they're a cheater, they're a cheater. Because of my past, everyone's going to cheat on me in the future. Well, if you have that energy, that's exactly who you're going to attract. You're going to attract that woman or man that did cheat on you, that really messed you up, and you're not making the shift in your energy. But if you shift your energy and say, this is what I deserve moving forward, this is what I'm not going to tolerate, these are my boundaries, this is what I'm going after, and this is what's going to happen. You're speaking it into existence. You're actually telling the universe, and you're telling God, because I don't believe I believe that God created the universe, so I speak straightly to the creator. But whatever your beliefs is, I'm not pressuring any beliefs here, but whatever you believe in, it is manifesting in your life. If someone's always talking about how sick they are, they're going to be sick. If someone's talking about how abundant life is, they're always going to live in abundance. It's a very simple mathematical equation. But so many people don't realize what they say, how they speak to themselves, not even just to other people, how they speak to themselves. So they're like, well, I've never built a team. I'm not a great leader. No one's going to listen to me. Todd can do whatever, Todd does that, or so-and-so does this, but I can't do that. You're right. That's like Henry Ford said, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're right, you can't. Henry Ford, the founder of Ford Motor Company, early 1900s. So I think he was right. I think Henry Ford is exactly right. If you think you can, you can. And it's honestly that simple. I think we overcomplicate this mindset stuff, this, getting into the mind and the psychology. No, it's just basically if you think you can, you're going to do it. But that doesn't mean that's it. First of all, it starts with that decision, and then the second thing is the strategy and the how-tos, right? But that's where the why comes in, is like, this is why you're doing it. This is the decision you got to make. So with all that said, that's why you want to build an organization for freedom. If you want financial freedom, time freedom, residual income, that's better than any investment you can ever invest in. I don't care if it's real estate. A lot of people always talk a big game. I'm an investor in real estate. Okay, that's cool, but can you walk away? Can you literally live for a year on residual income? And the answer is probably no. There's no residual in real estate. There's none. There just isn't. And there is maybe if you're a landlord, but you have to put up a lot of headaches and stuff like that. But as an investor, there's no such thing as residual income. There's dividends every quarter. And I'm not saying you shouldn't. You should. But not having a cash flow come in every month how can you ever be a real estate investor? You can't. If you don't have a cash flow coming in every month, you can't invest in venture capitalism or projects that you could make a ton of money very quickly in, because you don't have a monthly cash flow coming in that's surpassing your bills. And that's exactly what we're building with LEMD, is a cash flow. And eventually, I'll just give you an example. If your bills are $5,000 a month and you hit executive director, let's say minimum, and you're also doing 5,000 PV, and it could be underneath that. You can make 10 grand by doing senior directors or advanced directors. I mean, you really can. But I'm just saying, let's say, you're making 10 grand a month. Okay, well, your bills are 5,000 a month. So without increasing your bills, staying where you're at, you have an extra $5,000 a month of freedom that you can just save and save and save until you get multiple six figures in the bank, and then make some big moves in investing, which I highly recommend. Unless you already have six figures in the bank, then you can start making some moves in the investing world. Okay, and you have a cash flow that you can keep growing to 10,000 to 20,000 to 50,000. So how do you do that quickly? Building a team, building an organization, and having no excuse about it. So let's get into the how-tos. How do you do that? It's very simple. The couple of questions I want to ask you is, what is your favorite show? Okay, what is your favorite show on TV? Okay, I'm going to say, for me, it's Dexter. Okay, now I know that some of you just probably prejudge me now, and you're like, his favorite show is a guy that kills people as a serial killer, but he's a vigilante and he only kills bad people. The reason I like it is because it's very entertaining, it's very well acted, and yes, it's a little bit gory, but it's very well done. Okay, it's very well done, and it's almost every season is like a new adventure and a new killer, and so many people love this. So I'm not the only one that loves the serial killer thing. But again, you also learn what good and evil is, and it's just, there's a bunch of stuff there. So if I was to endorse that to you, I'm not endorsing it to my kids. I'm endorsing it to an adult, and I'm saying, hey, listen, I don't like horror stuff, but man, this was much different. This was almost like watching Batman in a whole different level. And I don't know, I really want you to watch it, because is he a superhero or not? And so I can really promote Dexter. And then on a lighter note, I can really promote shows like Shrinking on Apple, the psychology show with Harrison Ford. Super fun, super, funny. And that's literally all you're doing. So you're speaking from a perspective of what you like. So for instance, in LEMD, is I'm speaking about the peptides that I'm using and what it's doing to me, and how I was skeptical. Like, I was skeptical about Dexter. I thought it was a gory horror movie or horror show, but it wasn't at all, actually. There's a lot of love and there's a lot of stuff in there I wasn't expecting. So it's the same thing where, like, hey, I thought I was gonna lose my hair, or if I was on GLP-1, I thought I would have Ozempic face. But here's what I found out. I got educated. I got educated on the products, on the peptides. I started to lift weights even more, which I'm already lifting weights, but I got the grams of protein that I needed to get, and I did everything I did because I love the LEMD community, and this is my results. Here's my before and after picture. Great, right? Story, sell, and facts tell. So I'm selling the story of why I'm so excited about the peptides. And then the second thing is, I'm selling the story of freedom. I'm like, look, I got 3 kids. I got a daughter in college at Belmont U. I got a son who's 17 who eats us at a house and eats $2,000 a month in groceries, growing boys, lifting weights every day. And I got a 12-year-old that does gymnastics and dancing and goes to private school here in Schaumburg, and it's unbelievably expensive to be a parent. Would you agree? Are you a parent? Oh, you're a parent too. Isn't it crazy? These groceries are so expensive. Whole Foods is a whole paycheck. So now I'm relating to them on the financial side without coming off cringe about trying to, recruit them. So I think that's where a lot of people have that problem, including you, including me, of like, we're trying to recruit people. No, we're trying to offer hope and position not only ourselves, but position them into really looking into this to see if they want to watch the show. Now, if I really promote Dexter or Shrinking on Apple TV and my friend doesn't watch them, am I going home crying? Am I like, I'm rejected, I feel deflated? No, I don't care. Don't watch it then. I don't care. Literally. I don't care. But if they do, it's exciting, right? It's like, oh, cool. Oh, you watched it. That's all, you like it. Cool. And then we have another. So that's exactly how recruiting is. It should be a very organic, coming from the heart, you're driven by purpose. Your purpose is to add value to people. Your purpose is to make people feel comfortable and make people feel comfortable and at ease, because someone at ease is going to be excited to want to do it with you. Now, here's the kicker, and here's where a lot of you fail, okay, which is we want to cut this not failing anymore. Do not be afraid of failure, because that's the most ridiculous thing to ever be afraid of. That's like being afraid of the boogeyman and you're an adult, okay? There is no boogeyman that's coming for you. Turn on the lights. There's no boogeyman, okay? So stop being afraid of failure, because you do need to fail forward if you're ever going to be successful. So failure is inevitable. But if you're literally fearing the inevitable to be successful, that's like the boogeyman who's never there, and you're afraid of something that doesn't exist. So you have to fail forward. Everyone that's successful fails forward. I mean, look at actors. I mean, look at Ben Affleck. Whether you like him or not, he won the Academy Award in 1999 for Good Will Hunting. Did a lot of great movies like Armageddon and Pearl Harbor. Did you know Pearl Harbor was a complete bomb at the box office? And then he did all these bad movies. And then he came back with incredible movies like Argo, and he won the Academy Award again for Argo. So, I mean, you look at people like Matthew McConaughey. I mean, he was very successful. Then he did a bunch of rom-coms, and he talks about this on podcasts. He had to take like 18 months off. He was offered almost $20 million for another rom-com, and he said no. And then that's when he was offered Dallas Buyers Club. He won the Academy Award for it in 2014. And then his career just took off better than ever after, because he did not just keep saying yes. So my whole point is, he failed for a little while, according, even in his mind. He almost gave up. He was thinking about being an attorney or a professor, and he almost gave up after he hit all these huge movies. Okay, Matthew McConaughey. But again, he held out because of his purpose. And yes, he failed in some of his movies, but now he's a massive success because of those failures. So there's so many different stories that we can point to through historic people, presidents of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King Jr. You got to get over this fear of failure, and you also have to get over this fear of success thing. Success you should never fear. I mean, you just have to fear the one thing, and that's how to make sure that you're not a knucklehead like a lottery winner and then just spend all your money. There's some positive fear that you should have with success. So, once you have it, you know how to take care and really steward it, like the Bible talks about the parable. But here's the kicker, right? So all that philosophy that I just shared, let's get down to the brass knuckles of how. So if I'm having this conversation, we're getting into my vision, why the future looks bright in 2026, why I'm positioning and deciding to position myself and my family with LEMD, I'm going to say, hey, if I give you a video that literally goes over all this information, would you watch it tonight? Would you do that? And if you do, I might be able to hook you up. And they're like, well, what do you mean? So listen, I'm busy right now. I thought of you. I got a million people to talk to. But if you watch this video tonight, even the first 10 minutes, you don't have to watch the whole thing. But if you watch the first 10 to 15 minutes, I'm going to ask you a question. Just text me when you're done. And I'm going to ask you, what did you like best? Be prepared to answer that one question. What did you like best? Then they do that tonight. They said, man, I really like the residuals or whatever. I like the health and wellness space. I'm really into peptides. Great. Listen, I'm new. You could say perfect, because that's the great word, perfect. Whatever they say, even if it's negative, perfect. I'm so glad you said that. I know how you feel. I felt the same way, and here's what I found. Feel, felt, found. I know you feel. Here's what I found. Feel, felt, found. I know you feel. Here's what I found. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Then you're going to say, listen, I'm going to put you on a three-way text with let's say you're promoting, edifying me. You're going to say a bunch of kind things about me, or your director, or your senior director, or your advanced director, or whatever. I'm not saying all of you have to only use me only. That's not true. But I'm just saying, if you are using me, you're going to really promote. So what is edification? Edification is, there's four basic things. This person knows 100% of the facts. This person's a lot of fun to work with. They're super down to earth. They love helping people, and they're crushing it. Okay, crushing it. But then you can get even more personal, be like, hey, this person has been in the industry for 20 years. He knows 100% of facts, been on stages all over. He actually came out of retirement in 2019 to really do this. 6 months ago, he went all in. Our teams are doing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars right now in volume just in 6 months. I'm proud to be a part of this fast-growing organization, best-selling author, actor, etc. And he's made millions of dollars. So check this out. I'm going to introduce you. He's going to say hi, and he's going to send you a link. As soon as he sends you his link, because he's so busy, just book a call with him at your earliest convenience. That's it. And you do the same thing with anyone else that you're using. So then I reply back. I'm on a three-way text. Let's say you do it the next day. I get right back to you. I send, hey, being cordial, being professional. Hey, blah, blah, blah. And then I send my link, and then that person books a call with me right away. Now you, as the brand partner, can get on that Zoom and you can hear how I do. Now I'm closing about 90% of these when done properly. When you're edifying properly, when you're learning the skill set of getting excited, asking better questions, you're going to get better results. And then doing the introduction and getting yourself out of the way, 90% of those calls always become a brand partner. And it's such a blessing. It's such a nice call. The bad calls and the ones that are annoying the heck out of me, and I'm just too busy and old to do them anymore, are the ones they haven't seen anything. I was not edified at all. And you're the person, that brand partner, just running scared. They're talking way too much, a million miles an hour, and they've never really said, I'm going to develop this skill set. I'm going to make it my mission to be the best introductory person there is on the planet. And this is what I've been doing now for 2 decades. Even my personal recruits, I get myself out of the way. So I do the same thing with my personal recruits as someone if above me or sideline to me or downline to me. I can close anyone, but I don't close my personals because it's not going to duplicate if we're all just closing potential brand partners. Now, customers only, you can close them all day long. You don't need to do an introductory 3-way text to me about customers, only potential brand partners. Okay? So, the last thing I'll say on this, if you can master this skill set, you're going to be massively successful. Now, my question to you is a tough question. And I don't mean to be harsh, but I want to be very real with you because I want you as a student to really get what I'm saying as a mentor. And I'm doing this for so many, I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I was not successful in this industry until I did the 3-way introduction, period. I was massively successful once I did this. And I loved it. I just let my support team do all the work for me. Are you kidding me? Sign me up for that class. That's easy stuff, especially when you're new and you're nervous and you don't know the right things to say. Great, just as long as you can do the right introduction. But my question to you is this: how many of these introductory text messages have you done in the past month, 2 months, 3 months? If the answer is like bare minimum 0, what are you doing? Hopefully this video today inspires you, but you're never going to be successful if you don't do this. Also, what's the number? I think everyone here should be doing 1 to 5 of these a week, minimum. Let's just keep it simple. If you're if you want to build an incredible organization and you're not doing this, you're never going to build an organization. You might be getting customers here and there, and that's cute and that's awesome, but you're never going to build a massive organization of financial independence and freedom unless you do this. Now, I'm not saying you can't on the customer side, but you got to be dang good. Like, you got to be getting like 5,000 PV or more every month to make, a couple grand or more a month. But if you did 50,000 or 500,000 or $5 million of volume every month with an organization, you're going to make way more money. So again, it's a balancing act because not everyone wants to do the business, and that's okay. We don't want everybody. I would say even your customers now, if you have 10 customers, 30% of them, 3 out of 10 are going to want to become brand partners. They just don't know about it. So you better hurry up and go to them and tell them about the opportunity that really, really love the products. And that's the other thing about Ellie is people want to do the business because of how much weight they lost. People are already asking, what are you doing? And they're like, and they're just talking for free. But and plus once you become a brand partner, you can write off everything. You can write off the peptides. You can write off that in your taxes because you're paying a $79 for a $5 tech fee. That is your business. And then if you want to start an LLC, I can definitely help you out with that. I got a company in California called CorpNet. I work with them for several years. I've helped hundreds of people, including myself, get an LLC. A couple $100, I can hook you up there too and get a big discount. But I would highly recommend get an LLC, put your name of your LLC in your lemd.com/website, and start building a real business. You own this business. You're not just like a little brand partner and making a little $100 a month. Like, this is a real peptide business that you own. Nobody can take it away from you. Make sure you stay compliant because there are certain rules that Ellie can take it away from you if you're non-compliant. But that's like anything in life, right? You can lose your business if you do bad things, but obviously we're not going to do that. We're going to stay compliant. We're going to get educated. We're going to rock and roll. And that's exactly what this is all about. So let's focus. Don't let this be another training that you just throw to the side. Oh, that was nice. If you don't apply what I'm telling tonight, you're never going to build a big team. If you don't apply what I'm literally trying to mentor you, because I've been there, done that, and I've done this, and I know exactly what works, and I know what doesn't, and it's not just LEMD. I've done it in every single business I've ever done, corporate or direct sales, for the past 2 decades. It works. and you're going to be blown away by the results. And I promise you, all those people that are giving excuses, I can even hear the excuses in my ear right now. Oh, this isn't working, Todd. I'm struggling. Well, I can say that person has not done an introductory three-way text with me in the past several weeks. And they're sitting there complaining and moaning about it, but they're not doing the basic stuff that they need to do. And that is how you're going to cure that cancer, so to speak, in your finances, is you got to start doing three-way text introductions after they've seen it. You've asked them what they like best. Get yourself out of the way, edify the crap out of me or anyone that you're working with, not in front of me, but do just one-on-one with them, and then do a three-way introduction text, not random, hey, can you do a call now? Can't do it, I'm too busy. But I can do that. I could set up a professional call. We can have a 30-minute call on a Zoom. You can listen to it. We're going to rock and roll, and you're going to be incredibly surprised and blessed with the results that you're going to get. I promise you, guaranteed. Thank you so much.